GM CEO makes big mistake. Now dealers cannot sell trucks and SUVs. General Motors thought they could ride the wave of electric vehicle hype to the top, but instead they're sinking fast. With their shiny EV models like the Chevy Bolt and Cadillac Lyriq flopping in sales and recalls mounting like an avalanche, GM's strategy seems more like a costly gamble than a visionary leap. Dealers are left with unsellable trucks and SUVs, while consumers question whether GM can deliver on quality and reliability. It's a chaotic mess, and the dream of leading the EV revolution is quickly becoming a nightmare. Financial struggles and losses. General Motors is hitting a rough patch, especially with its electric vehicle strategy, which seems to be more of a stumbling block than a stepping stone to success. Their financial struggles are piling up as they push forward with electric vehicles like the Chevy Bolt, which is being sold at a loss. Instead of bringing in profits, these EVs are becoming a financial sinkhole for the company, draining billions of dollars in cash and leaving GM scrambling to keep up with its ambitions. But let's not overlook the bigger picture here. As GM pours its resources into EVs, the dealership network that has traditionally thrived on selling trucks and SUVs is feeling the heat. These are the bread and butter vehicles that have been a major source of profit and sustainability for the company. However, as GM pivots towards an EV-centric future, dealers are left with vehicles that are harder to sell. The demand for trucks and SUVs remains strong, but GM's focus on electrification means dealers are struggling to meet consumer demand for these more traditional and desirable options. Moreover, the transition to electric vehicles isn't just an overnight switch. It involves overhauling vehicles in stock and a market that's not fully ready to embrace electric vehicles. These dealerships are finding it challenging to maintain sales targets and profitability. This misalignment between GM's strategy and market reality is causing frustration and financial strain for dealers who rely on a steady flow of trucks and SUVs. The push for electrification has also impacted GM's financial health. Burning through cash at such a rate is unsustainable, especially when the expected payoff is uncertain. The billions being spent on EV development and infrastructure are not translating into immediate returns, making it a risky gamble. This financial gamble becomes even riskier when considering the broader market, where consumer preference for electric vehicles still lags behind traditional options. In the grand scheme of things, GM's rush to electrification might be a classic case of putting the cart before the horse. The financial struggles and losses they're experiencing highlight the dangers of shifting too quickly without ensuring the market is ready or that the infrastructure is in place to support such a dramatic change. For GM, the consequences are clear: unhappy dealers, unsold trucks and SUVs, and a bottom line that's taking a severe hit. This isn't just a corporate blunder. It's a lesson in the risks of abandoning a successful formula in favor of an uncertain future. Major recalls. However, the problem GM is facing is not only financial. The company seems to be riding the recall roller coaster these days, particularly with some of its most popular vehicles. The latest hit involves over 40,000 Chevy Silverado trucks, a staple of GM's lineup, which have been called back due to brake fluid leaks. This isn't just a minor hiccup. It's a significant safety issue that reflects deeper problems in quality control. When a company has to pull tens of thousands of vehicles off the road, it's a clear signal that something's amiss in the manufacturing or design process. The Silverado recall is just the tip of the iceberg. Other models in GM's lineup aren't immune to these quality issues either. Fuel pumps, transmission parts, and even daytime running lights have been flagged as problematic in various vehicles. Each recall presents not only a logistical nightmare for the company, but also a massive financial burden. These defects require immediate attention, repairs, and potentially a complete overhaul of specific manufacturing processes to prevent future issues. For GM, recalls are more than just a costly nuisance. They damage consumer trust and tarnish the brand's reputation. When buyers shell out hard-earned money for a vehicle, they expect reliability and safety, not a trip back to the dealership for unexpected repairs. Every recall announcement is a reminder to customers that GM is struggling to maintain the quality and dependability that truck and SUV buyers have come to expect. For dealers, these recalls mean more headaches. Trucks and SUVs like the Silverado are a core part of their inventory. Every recall means more unsold inventory and fewer options for customers looking for reliable transportation. It's hard to pitch the latest models when and there's a question mark over their reliability. This compounds the issue of selling vehicles at a time when dealers are already grappling with the impact of GM's electrification strategy on their traditional sales. Production and sales challenges. General Motors, or GM, is learning the hard way that transitioning to EVs isn't as smooth as they'd hoped. Despite pouring resources into advancing their EV assembly plants, sales figures are telling a different story. One of the glaring issues is that while the world is talking about EVs, the market isn't quite ready to buy them at the pace GM expected. The allure of the Cadillac Lyriq and the reimagined Hummer EV isn't translating into actual purchases. Whether it's due to high price points, range anxiety, or the lack of widespread charging infrastructure, consumers are not flocking to dealerships for these electric offerings. This consumer hesitancy, coupled with production challenges, is leaving GM's EV strategy in a precarious position. Adding to these sales woes are significant production and logistical challenges. Factory shutdowns have thrown a wrench in GM's operations, creating delays and bottlenecks. These shutdowns aren't just minor pauses. They're halting the production lines that were supposed to be pumping out the latest in EV technology. When factories go silent, so do sales, and the impact ripples through GM's entire network of dealers and suppliers. Further complicating matters is the cancellation of critical battery deals, like the one with LG. Battery technology is the heart of EV production, and losing a major supplier is a significant setback. This deal's cancellation not only slows down production, but also highlights the volatility and unpredictability of relying on third-party suppliers for essential components. Without a stable supply of batteries, GM can't keep up with even the modest demand for its EVs, leading to further delays and frustration. Dealers, meanwhile, are stuck in the middle, trying to balance the limited supply of new EVs with consumer demand that just isn't there yet. It's a tough sell when the product pipeline is inconsistent and the buzz around electric vehicles isn't converting into sales. This situation leaves dealers frustrated and financially strained, unable to leverage the full potential of either their traditional models or the new electric ones. Impact on reputation and customer trust. The cumulative effect of all these issues is causing GM a serious reputation crisis. And it's not just about the numbers. Recalls and production issues are undermining the trust that customers once placed in this iconic brand. Each new recall is a reminder of the quality issues that GM is struggling to manage, which raises red flags for potential buyers. Trust is a critical currency in the automotive industry, and GM's recent track record is eroding that quickly, leaving consumers skeptical and concerned. The Chevy Bolt, once touted as a breakthrough in affordable electric vehicles, has seen its brand image take a significant hit due to fire risks associated with its supplier-manufactured batteries. This issue has turned what was supposed to be a flagship product into a cautionary tale. The battery fires not only pose a safety risk, but also serve as a stark reminder for the challenges inherent in transitioning to new technologies. For many consumers, the idea of driving a vehicle with a known risk of catching fire, well, it's a deal breaker, no matter how advanced the technology claims to be. These problems have a ripple effect that extends beyond just GM's EV lineup. When consumers hear about recalls and safety issues, it affects their perception of the entire brand, not just specific models. This widespread reputational damage is hard to quantify, but it is undeniably costly. It can lead to potential buyers opting for competitors' vehicles, doubting GM's ability to provide safe, reliable transportation. Financial losses are another significant consequence of these issues. Every recall and production hiccup adds to the financial strain GM is already under. Costs for repairs, legal liabilities, and damage control measures stack up quickly. Moreover, the effort to win back customer trust can be expensive and time-consuming, diverting resources from innovation and development. The impact on consumer trust also reverberates through GM's dealer network. Dealers find themselves in the challenging position of having to reassure hesitant customers while dealing with the practical implications of recalls and production delays. Every recall means more work for the dealerships, from coordinating repairs to managing customer dissatisfaction. This dynamic creates friction between the manufacturer and its retail partners, as dealers bear the brunt of customer frustration while GM grapples with strategic missteps. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel so you can see more videos like this.